Brookland News Live begins right now. Here's Mitchell.
And a good day to all of you. This is Brooklyn News Live here, special breaking report. Of course, it is a Saturday, though it's not a Brooklyn News special report. I do want to note that you may be wondering why not simply just this isn't in Brooklyn, the news we're about to cover here. So we decided that it'd be better for us to just do a Brooklyn, come on the air for Brooklyn News Live. We are on the air at this hour because a shooting has occurred near and at Brown University in Providence, Rhode Island. This news is all just coming into us. So the cameras that we are about to show you on the scene, I'll give them to you now. Here is, you see the three at the top are the cameras that we actually have of this scene, and we actually just lost one of those. There it goes. It is back now, but that's a look at this developing scene. Police saying that there have been injured, people have been injured in this shooting happening at Brown University. We are awaiting a press conference to occur. We expect it to occur very soon. So again, we're just waiting on it to begin. We're taking a look there at the helicopter from WCVB in Boston, there on the far right hand upper portion of your screen. Give me just a moment, working through some issues here. We're waiting on a press conference because that's going to happen here in just a moment. As this news again all coming in, I'm working to get some of the things pulled up, and I know you guys may not necessarily understand, but it is pretty hard to throw yourself on the air in a quick manner. So that is what we have done. Again, we've gotten a camera into that press conference now. Let's take you to where we believe that press conference is going to happen here in just a moment. There you go. There's a look at that overhead shot and that shot there also in Providence, Rhode Island, of where we expect this press conference to start very soon. We are waiting on it to start. So if you'll hold with us, we are again just waiting on this to start. Sorry, I'm trying. There's so many different events and things that I need to fix here behind the scenes and get ready for us behind the scenes before all of this can come about. There we go. And there is. Because this is, of course, a breaking situation. The takeaway here, authorities are going to provide an update on the Brown University shooting in Providence Island that again we're learning still more details to come, I'll tell you. There we go. Okay, so we're waiting on this to all get underway. Sorry, I was just trying to fix all of our graphics and get them ready for you before we were actually able to talk a little bit about this. The governor, we're seeing a lot of people weighing in on this, including the governor of Rhode Island a few hours ago. Daniel McKee reacting to this, I believe it was on X. He goes by Dan, of course, but he is the governor of Rhode Island. He posted on X about 1 hour ago now, and I'll see if I can pull up my screen for you guys. We're gonna work through all of these different feeds that we're getting and try to work through everything and make sure you guys are seeing it all as we are getting it in right here at Brookland News headquarters. This is Daniel McKee, the governor of Rhode Island, moments ago. On his X page, he wrote, quote, "We are actively monitoring the shooting at Brown University. Our teams at Rhode Island State Police and what appears to be Rhode Island Emergency Services, maybe emergency management services, are working closely with local law enforcement. Please stay clear." Okay, looks like we have someone talking on the camera providing an update to us on this shooting. Let's see if we can pull up the audio and listen in here.
Okay, good evening. I'm Providence Mayor Brett Smiley. I'm joined here tonight by Fire Chief Derek Silva, Brown Police Chief Rodney Chapman, Brown Provost Frank Doyle, Governor Dan McKee, Councilman John Gonsalves, Commander Tim O'Hara, and Lieutenant Governor Sabina Matos. It is still early hours in the incident that occurred at Brown today, and so please understand that it's important for us to share what details we do have to the community, because there's a lot of fear and anxiety and unfortunately already some misinformation, but this is very early hours, and so please know that some of these details may be subject to change, that this investigation is ongoing. We will be as transparent as we can in the hours to come, and we'll provide regular updates, but we're going to share what we do know at this time. But please bear with us as we know sometimes these details shift as the investigation progresses. Sadly, today is a day that the city of Providence and the state of Rhode Island prayed would never come. We've heard about horrific acts of gun violence and active shooter situations in other places, but not here. But this afternoon at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, we received a call. 4:05 was when the initial call came in to Brown University of a report of an active shooter. I can confirm that there are 2 individuals who have died this afternoon, and there are another 8 in critical status, though stable, at Rhode Island Hospital. Those are the only injuries or casualties that we know at this time. But as I mentioned, and it's important to remind folks, these numbers may change. We are still in early hours, but at this time there are 2 deceased and 8 who are critical but stable at Rhode Island Hospital. Additionally, we do not have a shooter in custody at this time. There is a shelter in place in effect for the greater Brown University area. If you live on or near Brown's campus, we are encouraging you to stay home and stay inside. If you're not home at this time, we would encourage you not to return to your homes until the shelter in place has been lifted. We will make regular updates through all City of Providence official social media channels. That's where you can find out more information about the shelter in place, if it changes, when it's lifted. I want to commend the heroic work of the Providence Police Department, the Brown Police Department, the Providence Fire Department, and the many agencies who provided mutual aid today. Brown Police responded first and then were quickly assisted by Providence Police, who fearlessly and courageously entered and worked through the building, and we'll hear from them in a minute. Providence Fire responded quickly as well and transported several of the victims. The fire department was assisted with mutual aid from across the state of Rhode Island. And as I think we know our community to be, our neighbors have really stepped up in a big way today. And we're very grateful for everyone who has offered assistance and who will continue to offer assistance. The fire department was aided by departments in Warwick, Barrington, Bristol, Brown, EMS, Pawtucket, Cranston, Coventry, Smithfield, East Greenwich, North Kingstown, Woonsocket, Professional Ambulance Company, Scituate, and Cumberland. Providence Police and Brown Police were aided by East Providence, Cranston, Cumberland, the State Police, the FBI, and the ATF. Brown, Providence, and the FBI are currently in close coordination as they seek to find the shooter or shooters. The shooting took place at the Barris and Holly building, which is a Brown University engineering and physics building. The building contains both classrooms and lab space. We'll hear from the provost in a minute with some additional updates from Brown. There will be a family reunification center that Brown will be setting up effective at 7 o'clock. Please stay tuned for updates on where that will be. We are encouraging anyone who was a witness to today's action to please contact the police as the investigation is ongoing and they may have critical information. At this time, I'd like to introduce the governor of the state of Rhode Island, who was quick to call and offer assistance and has been in touch with our law enforcement, had the state police respond quickly, and has been a great partner to the city of Providence on this sad day. Governor McKee.
Okay, Mayor. Yeah, so the unthinkable has happened, and I've been in touch, as the mayor said, to make sure that all the resources that we have, whether it's the EMA, our state police, Department of Health, which we've been in contact with as well, are responding in a way that is being helpful as possible. We've been in contact with the White House as well. Our office has been in contact with the White House. So we will bring all our resources to the table. I've been in touch with Governor Healy as well as other governors who have experienced the same tragedy. So our thoughts go out to those who have been impacted by this in any way, and we'll continue to provide the assistance to the authorities here in Providence as well as statewide, and continue to make sure that we are doing everything we can to help the families that are that are suffering right now.
Thank you, Governor. Now I'd like to introduce Chief Rodney Chapman from Brown PD.
My name is Rodney Chapman. I'm Vice President for Brown University, Vice President of Public Safety and Emergency Management, and I serve as Chief of Police as well. As mentioned, and we will mention this several times, this is a very fluid situation and dynamically evolving. Needless to say, my primary concern is the safety and security of this community, and we are encouraging, if anyone has information about the tragic events that unfolded this afternoon, to please contact us and provide that information. At this moment, I do want to say and share that my profound thanks and appreciation for all of the first responders who have come to assist us and all that are gathered right now and speaking to continue this investigation, to include all of the City of Providence resources, state resources, and the federal government in terms of the FBI and ATF. Sir.
Now, Commander Tim O'Hara from Providence Police.
Good evening, Tim O'Hara, Deputy Chief of Providence Police. So earlier this afternoon, when we received a call for an active shooter inside a building inside Brown University, our officers responded, and as they're trained to do, entered that building immediately and began searching for a suspect. They did a systematic search of the building. However, no suspect was located at that time. They were able to clear that building and provide a safe place for all of students and faculty and workers that were in that building to meet at. Preliminarily, all we have is a suspect that was a male dressed in black. It is unknown how he entered the building, but we do know that he exited the Hope Street side of that complex. We're utilizing every resource possible to find this suspect. The shelter in place is in order, and I urge people to take that very seriously. Please do not come to the area. There's an active police investigation going on, and there's a lot of police activity. We've got assistance so far from some surrounding communities, the state police, the Cranston Police, East Providence Police, as well as our federal partners and the FBI and the ATF. We're talking to witnesses at this time and delving into any video that's in the area, and the investigation is very active and ongoing. We'll be updating you, I'm sure, throughout the night, but as I said, right now there is no suspect that is under arrest, so please stay out of the area. Thank you.
We'll take questions at the end. We'll take questions at the end. We have a few more speakers, please. Next, Fire Chief Derek Silva.
Derek Silva, Fire Chief for the City of Providence. As mentioned previously, at 4:05 p.m. we were dispatched to the area of Waterman and Thayer for an active shooter incident, where our firefighters, known as a rescue task force, linked up with Providence Police with 2 operational locations at Waterman and Thayer and Waterman at Hope. Rescue Task Force is a firefighter that wears body armor and has ability to stop any shooting wounds and make sure that any victims are extricated quickly. With the assistance of police in neighboring cities and towns, 8 people were transported. As the mayor mentioned, critical but stable condition, and 2, unfortunately, were dead on arrival. We have a total of 10 victims, but as I caution everyone, this is a developing incident, and we are still actively searching the buildings along with Providence Police to make sure that everyone has gone home safe and that there are no one else that needs our assistance. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. And then last, we'll hear from the Provost of Brown University, Frank Doyle.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm Frank Doyle, Provost at Brown University. I want to reiterate, this is an evolving situation, as you've heard multiple times. Our first priority is the safety of our academic community, the campus community, and coordinating closely with law enforcement and medical services. In the meantime, we continue to direct our community to shelter in place in the greater vicinity of the campus. We are working immediately to determine who was in the building at the time of the shooting and any impacts from the shooting. We do know that there were final exams taking place in the building between 2 and 5 p.m. We can confirm that support services are on site. We have been and continue to be very grateful to law enforcement and emergency medical personnel. We have relocated students to get support services at a secure location and will be providing more details. We continue to remain extremely grateful to local law enforcement for their ongoing support. We're committed to keeping our community informed, supporting our students and families, as well as the affected faculty and staff. Thank you.
So before we take questions, I just want to implore the greater Providence community. We are a week and a half away from Christmas, and 2 people died today and another 8 are in the hospital. So please pray for those families. Understand that this is not something our community has gone through together, but I also know this community, and I know that its best moments are when we come together to support one another. It's going to be a difficult rest of the day, difficult weeks and months ahead as this community heals, and each and every one of us can play a small role in that, in supporting one's neighbor and offering that support and their prayers for everyone involved. At this point, we'll be happy to take questions
Mayor,
as we know them.
what can you tell us about the victims, including whether they were all Brown University students?
We cannot disclose any details about the victims at this time, whether they were students or not, or any other details. We will make those details available when they become available. We expect to be providing regular updates throughout the evening and in the days to come, and this is too early to be able to provide those details.
Was there any
Mayor, how did it
advance
happen
warning
that-
that something like this might be happening?
The first we learned about today was the 911 call that came in, but we had no other, I don't think, we had no other notice or threat indicators or anything like that. Please, Kate.
Mayor, do you know exactly when Brown University did put out that someone was in custody? How long was that misinformation out for, and how was that determination made and then retracted?
There was an individual who was preliminarily thought to be involved and was later determined to have no involvement, and that's why we can confirm that at this time there is nobody in custody. The length of that investigation or interrogation of that individual, I don't know.
There's a weapon been recovered?
Commander?
No weapons have been recovered.
Do you know what weapon was used? We just know that it was a firearm. What type of firearm, we're unaware of.
You're a Brown University police armed.
Yes, we are.
Commander, do you need a pass to get into that building, or could someone just get in off the street?
I'm unaware of how the security of that building works.
Most of our buildings after hours are card swipe, but since there was a final exam, there was probably a lot of traffic in and out of that building.
And where did it happen in the building? Did this take place inside where the exam was going on?
We're still verifying everything. So we look at everything right now as all part of the crime scene.
Well, were the
So
victims found like in a hallway, or were they in a classroom?
so we're unable to share that at this time.
Commander, can you say if there have been any confirmed shots fired since the 405 shots?
There was a call that came over for shots fired in the area of Governor Street, but that was unconfirmed and unfounded.
So as far as we know, the gunman has not been seen since around the 4 o'clock hour?
That's correct. The last time that we know that he's been seen was when somebody saw him leaving the building on the Hope Street side of the building.
And is he around college age, or do you have any information?
I don't have any more information about his
Commander,
description.
Commander, could you repeat how the individual exited the building?
He exited the doors at the Hope Street side of the building.
Do police have any video footage of the suspect at this point?
We're working on that right now. We're working along with FBI on tracking down video from that area.
What resources are being used other than video at this point to try to locate the suspect?
Forensic evidence, we're using witness evidence, and we're looking for video mostly right now because we'd like to get an image out as quickly as we can of the suspect.
Now, it had happened then about close to 3 hours now. Are you in contact with other law enforcement? Now we're talking a large perimeter at this juncture. Who else is involved in this now?
As I said earlier, state police are involved, ATF, the FBI, Providence Police Detectives, and all the other squads that we have available to us at the Patrol Bureau, and in our specialty intelligence units and our real-time crime center will be involved as well.
Any multi-state alerts?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Has everyone vacated that building at this point?
No, not everybody. There's still a police presence in that building. That's the crime scene. We're going to be in that building for quite some time.
But the students or faculty, bystanders?
Yes, everybody is that was in that building at the time has been moved.
Commander, so it's 2 deceased and 8 that are in basic critical condition at the hospital?
They're in stable condition at the hospital, Rhode Island Hospital right now.
Are they able to provide any details? Or?
That's what we're working on right now, John.
In terms of when that suspect was last seen, he was leaving the building on Hope Street. Was that an eyewitness account? Did police see him leave? Was there any interaction with police with that suspect?
No interaction with that suspect with police. That was from eyewitness account.
Chief Dan Jetty from Channel 10. I just wanted to know if there's any kind of description you can provide to anybody here right now. I know it's kind of hard, but we don't know what we're looking for. So there's a lot of people on edge. Is there anything that you can give us?
All I can give you is a male, all dressed in black at this time. We're hoping to get something very soon. An image would be the best thing for us to get out there to you guys and everybody else. So
Do you have an image of him?
a mask on, did he?
that I can't confirm.
Do you have an image of him? Is he
I
on
do not
tape?
have an image of him.
Commander,
Did he
did-
left on foot or did he get into a vehicle? Yeah.
He left on foot.
And did he go down Oak Street?
He exited the building on Hope Street. Where he went from there, we're unsure.
How do you find a suspect in a city campus? Makes it very, very challenging.
We have all available resources, and as the governor mentioned, he's in touch with governors in other areas as well. This will be an ongoing investigation. Obviously, FBI, ATF, Providence Police, Brown Police are all actively investigating this as we speak, and we will provide updates as they become available. We expect to provide regular updates throughout the evening and in the days to come. We will share information as we have it with all of you. We knew that this update was preliminary, but we also know that there's a lot of fear and anxiety and concern in our community, and so it was important to get out the details that we do have at this time. At this point, you know all the information that can be shared, and we will keep the community and members of the press corps updated as we go throughout the evening.
Has there ever been a shooting at Brown University before?
To my knowledge.
Commander, has Chief Perez been briefed on the incident?
Absolutely.
Where is he?
The chief is on his way here and will be at our later press availabilities.
What kind of presence of who are living, obviously, in this area that are concerned, they're instructed to shelter in place. If they see something that they feel is suspicious, what is the best way for them to reach out? Can they send pictures? Can they reach out? Obviously, you can call police.
They should call the police. That is the best way. Social media or other forms of communication are not the appropriate venue. You should call 911 if you believe you have information that may help us with this investigation. Particularly if you were a student on campus or an adult on campus that was near the area that you think you have something to contribute, please call the police to help us with our investigation.
Mayor, is there any thought about shutting businesses down, like on Thayer Street or anything like that? I know they did that in Maine after this.
At this point, we're not mandating that businesses shut, but we are asking everyone to shelter in place, and so we would hope that everyone would stay indoors until they hear otherwise from official City of Providence channels. In this day and age, we know there will be misinformation available online, and so please, when it comes to official updates with regard to the shelter in place and other updates, go to the City of Providence's Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, any of our social media channels. It is clearly marked as the official City of Providence page so that you know you're getting the accurate and official update.
The shelter in place extends to what area?
The shelter in place is defined as the broader Brown community, Brown neighborhood. Everyone knows if they live near Brown, and certainly if you're on campus. Because we don't have additional information to share at this time about the location of a shooter, we cannot more specifically define it than that. This is a scary time, I know. As many folks know, I live proximate to the campus, and I'm hearing from friends and neighbors. We're encouraging people to stay inside until there are additional updates.
Can we ask the provost a
Sure.
question? What is the policy at Brown University regarding firearms? Could a student legally have a firearm in the dorm?
No.
They cannot?
They cannot.
Okay.
Mayor, I'm just asking, was
Yes.
the chief coming in, was he out of state?
I don't know. He's in transit, and he's expected to be here within an hour or two, and so he will be with us at future updates this evening.
What time did
Mayor,
police
does the
arrive at the scene
Brown
after the
University
first-
monitor any
Hold on, Pat. We're going to take Nisha's question first, and Chief, this might be for you, please.
What was that?
What time did police arrive at the scene after the first 911 call?
The exact time, I don't know, but it's, the Barris and Holly is 184 Hope Street, and it's a very short drive from us, so I would say minutes,
And
within
how about
minutes.
for Providence Police? When were they contacted?
Whenever we were called, we responded immediately and immediately entered that building looking for the shooter.
We'll provide a timeline later in the evening.
How often do the various law enforcement agencies prepare for situations like this? Do they do active shooter simulations, trainings, establishing perimeters? Talk a little bit about that training that goes into this multi-agency response.
Certainly,
Go ahead.
well, certainly welcome you to as well. We just did a few months ago a joint training in Brown PD and Providence PD and Providence Fire and Rescue Task Force. It's something we certainly plan for, practice for, rehearse, but never want to see it come to fruition like it did today. But it is something that we definitely prepare for multiple times throughout the year. And as mentioned, we just had a joint training several months ago.
Colonel?
And Kate, I would just add, I'm sorry, John, 1 second. I would just add, Kate, that the City of Providence conducted an active shooter drill, a live drill at a closed school about 18 months ago with not just police, but fire, EMS, emergency management, and the other various departments and city government that are responding. This is a sad state of our country right now where you have to plan for these things. And hopefully the community takes some comfort to know that their Providence leadership has planned for this occurrence, including very recently.
Colonel, you said that there was final exams going on in the building. Where is the campus? Are there still most students on campus? Have some already taken their exams and gone home?
So a little bit of both. Some students have gone home, but there, as the provost said, there's still some there's still some activity going on. Provost?
We're still in finals period. So students who didn't have exams have left, but
Can
they're
you say
still
it was
conducting.
final exam for what class?
We're not prepared to release that information right now. There were multiple exams in the building.
Pat,
Were you there?
hold on, Pat.
Rich, I address this to the Colonel.
Sure.
Does the Brown University receive threatening chatter at any time? And in what manner does Brown University Police monitor that, or is that turned over to Providence Police right away?
There's a strong partnership and collaboration between Brown University and Providence PD. Any information like that we will share, and we also share it with the Fusion Center as well. As mentioned, we have no verified information, warning, or anything related to today's events.
Dan,
Commander, do you
hold on a second. John, Dan,
Mayor, you live right next to the building, correct? Were you home at the time?
I was home at the time.
Did anyone come to you to you shelter in place? Can you just give what happened when you found out?
Yeah, I was at home watching the PC game and saw lights and sirens go by my house, and at which time Commander O'Hara called me with a very preliminary update, and then have been in touch, and obviously, as you point out, about a block away, very proximate through the rest of the evening.
Deputy Chief
I'm sorry.
O'Hara, Deputy
John,
Chief,
then Dan.
If someone right now feels they may have video that's useful, someone running by their house, someone acting suspicious, who do you want them to contact?
I want them to contact the police department. Call us up. We'll send a detective out there right away and see what kind of evidence they may have for us.
Should people check ring cameras, businesses?
Yes,
Someone
they
may
should.
have video.
If they have a ring camera in the area of the shooting, they should be reviewing that right now and see if there's anything that looks suspicious. We'll follow up.
Dan.
Follow up on that question. With that area and all of the cameras in that area, you have to have something.
I don't have anything yet, Dan.
Are you looking through it though?
Absolutely.
Okay, and the conditions of the victims, a source at the hospital says that there could be more casualties. Can you just gently tell us what we know about conditions?
We can't speak any further about the condition. They are in critical but stable condition, and we will provide additional updates as they become available. As we have mentioned multiple times, and I will mention again because it's very important that we be honest and transparent with all of you and with parents and loved ones who are concerned about, they've got students who are away at school or they have someone who works at Brown. We're not done yet, and so While we have no other victims at this time that we're aware of, it is possible. And so it's very important that we say that this is preliminary information, that we know that there is a minimum of 8 victims in the hospital at this time, but it is all subject to change, and when those changes, or if those changes occur, we will be sure to share them with you.
Commander, one more question. Are you confident it's just one individual you're looking for?
That's the information we have now.
Did you want to give the phone number if people should call?
272-1111 or 272-3121.
As I mentioned, we expect to be providing additional updates throughout the evening. If you're not on our press list, please see Josh. Raise your hand. Please see Josh to make sure you get on the press list. That's where we will notify folks about additional availabilities throughout the evening. As we have more information, we will share it. Thank you very much.
Will there be more press conferences there here?
We expect there will be, yes.
Alrighty, a press conference there wrapping up in Providence, Rhode Island. We do have some information, of course, that you may have heard there that we are able to share now. We were looking, we knew there had been some injuries, but the extent of those injuries was unclear. We are now learning that there are 2 dead and 8 injured right now. That press conference just wrapping up. A live look at that scene there on the left side of your screen. You are still seeing a heavy law enforcement presence there. The big news still remaining: there is no suspect in custody. He was said to be wearing a male dressed in all black. That is the news that we're getting. Again, a suspect not in custody. There was original reports by Brown University that there was someone in custody. They went back saying that's not true. The authorities there, officials there, addressing that, saying there had been a suspect in custody, though after further questioning, that suspect was let go, as he was not the culprit of this crime. As we continue to take a look live at pictures at that scene, all just wrapping up, I want to take you into a look that has an air view of all of this. You can see the streets lined with law enforcement officers, blue lights, red lights, signaling the amount of law enforcement that is nearby looking for this suspect. The question was by many of the members of the press kind of asking for more information on this suspect, because there is still this stay in place order, this kind of bunker down, stay where you are for now. We're going to find this suspect and going to let you know when you are safe and able to come back out at Brown University. But again, police still a heavy law enforcement presence looking for this suspect. I'll note the wording from the mayor there of Providence, Rhode Island, saying that he worded it in a way saying the minimum amount of people injured right now is 8, the minimum. So not necessarily possibly indicating that he might expect more people to come into the hospital. We don't know. We're watching it. We'll see how it all goes. Of course, again, as we've noted throughout the last little bit, this news is all just coming in. We're working through it, trying to figure out what we know right now. We want to take you back to the ground here where we are continuing to watch. Again, you can just see, at least on this street, the heavy law enforcement presence. That is continuing to come out here. So that was the press conference, the update, the takeaway that we're learning. We are getting news in from President Donald Trump, of course. About 1 hour ago, he announced, I'll pull it up on your screen now if I'm able to here. He talked a little bit about this coming in. One moment. Talked a little bit about some of this this news, of course, coming in on True Social. There you go. It's on your screen now. He writes, quote, I'll read the first one that's on the bottom here from about 1 hour ago. He writes, I have been briefed on the shooting that took place at Brown University in Rhode Island. The FBI is on the scene. The suspect is in custody. God bless the victims and the families of the victims. Another later released True Social post by the president reads, quote, the Brown University reversed their previous statement. The suspect is not in custody. There we go. And that, of course, was what I was kind of just addressing a few moments ago. We're learning that they had someone who they believed was the suspect in custody originally, but ultimately released them and saying they were not the custody. The takeaway again from this press conference being, of course, 2 are dead, 8 still in critical condition. I should say critical status is the wording. The mayor there noted it. The call, of course, coming in at around 4:05 p.m. Eastern time, so 3:05 here. And this has been an ongoing event that us here at Brookland News, and of course myself, monitoring as we've gotten new information in, and we were learning there's going to be a press conference, so we wanted to kind of jump in for a little bit of some time to bring you guys what we know right now. And if you'll hold with me here, I'll pull up all the feeds on your screen. Here's a look at those feeds all on your screen because we're watching it all come in, of course. That air feed showing it pretty zoomed in now. A look there at just the evolving scene showing just Providence, Rhode Island, of course, near Brown University. This was all said to occur at the Morris and Holly building where students were taking finals. People asked, what is it how do we get into this building? Police noting that they're after hours, of course, you have to have a key card, but of course there was a lot going on at this building, a lot of people in and out, they said, so could be a reason that he got in there. It is unclear to law enforcement officials how the suspect entered. They know he exited using the Hope Street exit. So we're watching here, and you can see on the left side of your screen some officials entering what appears to be Brown University. I don't know, but there is so many law enforcement agencies on scene. You're actually able to see what appears maybe to be, we're seeing a lot of legs, shoes off. I don't know if that could possibly be some students at Brown University. I'm not going to sit here and speculate because I simply just don't know. But I mean, people still at this moment in time bunkering down, waiting to know what is next. What do I need to do in order to protect myself? Right now, I'll tell you, the moments, the minutes, the seconds that keep going on after this I can't imagine it's getting any easier for these students. You're taking a look there farther into one of those rooms where you see a number of law enforcement officials there, some people even sitting down at that table. This helicopter shot's giving us some nice views of what kind of giving us an idea of what is happening at this scene, what's going on, because I'll tell you, I'm myself wondering and asking all of the questions that you guys are likely also asking yourselves at home. What is still happening? And of course, I can't imagine if you're a mother or father, a grandmother, anyone in relation to a child that's attending Brown University. So, I mean, we don't know. We don't know most details right now. I'll continue kind of rewrapping what we do know, and I can even put up a little box on your screen that talks about what we know. If you'll let me here, it takes me I'll note, guys, it takes just a second to kind of switch all of the feeds around because there is a lot going on, a lot of feeds coming into us that we're trying to work our way through, a lot of video that I'm like, okay, is this important? Does this matter? Should you guys know that? This video you're seeing on the screen, it is what I'm going to do here. I'm going to switch off of that feed because that is I would argue that might be a little hard to watch here. People still bunkering down, waiting to know what's next here. I don't know what and why I said that might have been hard to watch. Of course, those are just students there. I didn't know if they were injured. We weren't really getting a view. They didn't appear to be injured, just appear to be kind of sitting there. One there was a people sitting on the side that appeared to be talking. So we'll go back to this feed. But if I see something that the viewers may be like, okay, that's extremely disturbing. Let me get off the shot. I can explain that to you guys. I think it would be okay for me to do that and for me to later explain kind of what I saw in that shot. Just I know it can be hard to watch, especially because America has been through so many events like this. Of course, this is the first known event like this, active shooting event to occur at Brown University. We've actually lost that helicopter shot, it appears. We'll stick with this shot that you have right now on the ground. So again, that's live there in Providence, Rhode Island, as we're approaching the just past the 7 o'clock hour here. Here's what we're going to do. We are going, let me see. I was gonna switch shots for you guys and keep revamping what we know. But what we'll do is put up our, what we call our, this is what I call the context box. It's already up there. It notes what we already know right now, and I'll kind of, those are kind of the 4 points I'm going to continue to reiterate, say again, because again, you heard there the mayor already, Brett Smiley of Providence, already saying there had been some misinformation already going around. I'll read the what we know right now. Again, the call of the shooter at Brown University coming in at around 4:05 p.m. That's, of course, Eastern time. Then we would see, of course, 2 dead, 8 are in critical status. That's the way the mayor put it. A suspect remaining not to be in custody. And of course, the shooting of taking place at the Bars and Holly building on the campus there. So we're going to continue to monitor this and see kind of what comes about. A look down this street and right through the caution tape you can just see as we saw in that helicopter shot the just amount of authorities working this all uh if you will let me here, I'm going to try to talk, but I'm going to be checking our social media pages um, to see if we have anything from officials here. And there's also over on Brown University's website, they are providing updates. The latest update we got for was from 6:33, 5:33 p.m., where they just said we are sorry to share that we have confirmed reports of 2 deceased victims, which of course we gathered that from this press conference that of course just occurred a few moments ago. I'm going to continue here checking social media, seeing if we have anything new. Stand by here because I'm learning and I'm trying to see here. President Trump may have delivered brief remarks on this. So I'm trying to see here, maybe if he did. Let me, if you'll excuse me, guys, here, I'm going to, because I'm just learning that Trump may have delivered brief remarks. Of course, we read those posts where he was, where he did speak there. What I'm going to do here is just kind of see. Okay, we do have some news in. It's just coming in. I want to play the video for you. It appears as he heads back to the White House, of course, the Army versus the Navy game occurred earlier today. Here's what we're going to do, because it's going to take me just a moment to get it to you guys. I am going to quickly get this video into our system so that I'm able to play it for you guys. As soon as I get it, we'll play it out for you in full. I know I can hear myself on my IFB or earpiece, as many people would say. I can hear myself clicking on the keyboard, trying to get this. I'm trying to get this news into you guys, so doing my absolute best. Let's switch here to a shot again in Providence from WJAR full screen there, where we're trying. I'm sorry, guys. This is kind of what live news looks like. When we get video in, we have to do our best to get it to you guys as fast as possible. And sometimes it can be a little bit of a lengthy process. Okay, this is President Donald Trump moments ago. It appears back at the White House. Take a look.
The Brown University situation, what a terrible thing it is. And all we can do right now is pray for the victims and for those that were very badly hurt, it looks like. And we'll inform you later as to what's happening, but it's a shame. It's a shame. Just pray. Thank you very much.
President Donald Trump quickly there speaking on it, saying all we can do right now is pray for the victims. Of course, this is it is a really sad moment that we are continuously seeing these shootings at schools, rather right here, in Arkansas or in Providence, Rhode Island, where you're taking a live look there right now. It is devastating, and I think one thing you can ask for is prayers. I want to take you back out to live video. We're continuing to watch multiple feeds here. What I'm going to try to do, I know it's a little tricky here because we do have a lot going on, but we are getting that helicopter view back live here that we were looking at a few moments ago. There's so many feeds that we here at Brookland News are watching right now. There's a look there at Providence, Rhode Island, at the helicopter feed that we're getting again. I'm wondering here if I'll be able to pull up all the feeds that we are getting in for you. Okay, here's a look at all of the feeds we're getting in, plus White House and Capitol Hill, of course. There's a look at the White House there on the bottom left-hand header screen, of course, where we just saw that the president from. Then, of course, our bonus Capitol Hill shot that seems to never go away that we're always looking at. But again, this a moment you see all of the cameras and we're just looking at all of the different things that we are monitoring here. Let's take you back out live there to that air shot that we're getting, showing some of the, just law enforcement, fire, medical people there on the scene. I'm gonna quickly here go back to kind of what we know to bring you back into focus here as we approach 7:20. What we know right now, the call of this active shooter, this shooting occurring at Brown University, of course, coming in at around 4:05 p.m. That's Eastern time, so that's 3:05 right here in Brookland. 2 are dead, 8 are in critical status at this moment. That's just from this press conference that we learned of. moments ago. Uh, a suspect remains not to be in custody. That goes against earlier reports. What was said in that press conference was that a suspect, someone that police believe was the suspect, was originally put into custody. He was released. I shouldn't say he. I'm not sure if it is a man or a woman. I should say they were released. This shooting, of course, taking place at the Bars and Holly building on the campus of Brown University. So we are watching this all come in as it does. What I want to do for you now is take you to this air shot that we are getting in, that we've been continuously watching throughout the last little bit. It's been zooming into some of these Brown University buildings, showing what appears to be students remaining to be hunkered down, locked in place. Of course, that order still remaining at this current moment. Police say there is going to be a later press conference, and that when they have updates, they will share them. So we are waiting for them to come across to us, because as soon as they do, you guys can trust us to bring you those updates. We are working, I'll tell you, I'm scrolling on my phone, on socials, and on my laptop here, and watching all of these feeds at the same time to make sure you guys are getting the most up-to-date information coming in here. Of course, doesn't appear. I'm just checking here to see if we have any new information right now. We do know there is a suspect description. It is a male dressed all in black. That is what we are getting right now, and you're actually able to see it to you on your screen. That's what we'll do there for you to make sure, of course, you guys are getting the information as it comes in. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to change things here. Here we go. There is all of the information that we have right now on that bottom graphic there. Again, that male suspect dressed all in black. That's woodworking. They said they're in that press conference. They were working to get more information, video pictures to release. So we are waiting on that. Back to, there's so many shots coming in. You'll notice here that there is a change in shots consistently with what even we are getting back here at Brookland News headquarters. So, change of what we're getting back here in Brooklyn News. That's what I was going to say there. So we're watching this. Well, that is not what I meant to do. Here we go. This is what it looks like when you're trying to quickly get things out to people. Change things so I just, the point of this graphic there at the bottom side of your screen is so we're able to see all information all in one little graphic, and that's, there we go, we got it. So 2 dead, 8 injured in this Brown University shooting. Suspect described as a male dressed all in black. That is what we are getting. You're looking live there in Providence, Rhode Island, where Brown University is what appears to be a law enforcement officer getting ready to go ahead and handle whatever's going on, continue their search for a suspect. That is what they are doing right now. A look at multiple feeds coming in that we are getting. I'll tell you, we've been looking at this air shot every once in a while when we get it pulled up for you guys, and it just shows the amount of presence, the amount of law enforcement officials all simply just involved in this. We'll go back to the shot that we've been continuously going to. It shows you all of the feeds that we're watching right now back here in Brookland News headquarters. And again, it's just so... There's simply just a lot going on. That's what I'll tell you. We're going to continue our coverage here. You see a bus there. Maybe there... I don't know if anyone's in it here. Let me switch full screen. It looks like they might be doing... There appears to be someone in the bus. This could be... There possibly could be using city buses. And I'm just, of course, trying to throw out maybe some information here. Using city buses to remove people from campus, pull them back, because there was said to be a reunification center later. So that could possibly be what they're doing here. We'll wait to see if we have any updates. So it looks as if we have actually lost... We've actually lost one of our feeds here, but we still got a lot to come in. Here's a look at another shot that we're getting in, showing all of those lights, all of the things going on there in Providence, Rhode Island. We're going to continue to monitor this situation. I'll tell you, I don't want to sound like a broken record here, and we are continuously getting information in, the same information a lot of times. I'm doing my best to get it all to you guys. As soon as we get it. So I'll play what President Donald Trump just said moments ago, and what we're going to keep doing here is kind of providing you updates, but throwing in quick commercial breaks is what we'll do, just to make sure. Of course, we want to make sure you guys are getting the most updated information. So as soon as information comes in, of course, we'll break out of those commercial breaks to bring live updates on this situation. President Donald Trump did address this all earlier today, I should say just really moments ago, at the White House. Here's that video.
Fully briefed on the Brown University situation, what a terrible thing it is. And all we can do right now is pray for the victims and for those that were very badly hurt, it looks like. And we'll inform you later as to what's happening, but it's a shame. It's a shame. Just pray. Thank you very much.
That is from President Donald Trump earlier here. What we're going to do is, I just explained before that, throw in a quick break. We will be right back with our continued breaking news coverage of this entire event. Welcome back into Brookland News Live here as we continue our breaking news coverage. Again, 2 are dead, 8 are injured in a shooting occurring earlier tonight, I should say, earlier this evening at Brown University in Providence, Rhode Island. You're taking a look at the 3 cameras on the top row there, and all of the feeds that we're getting in. A suspect not in custody, but said to be wearing all black. We're waiting to see if we get a picture, any new information. If we do, you will be the first to see it right here on Brookland News as soon as we get it in. The big news again, though, the suspect still at large here. We're waiting to get some type of update. In a press conference was held moments ago, of course. So we're waiting to get news of that all in, and you are watching what appears to be a cameraman going through some of their footage and showing us some video from earlier. So this is actually not live right now. This is what live breaking news looks like, guys. We're trying our best to get the information to you. What maybe okay, so we're watching it all. There was someone in that bus. Maybe what they're looking at, there was something going on in that bus. We couldn't quite tell from our vantage point what that is. We're getting a look in the air. I should say this is from WHDH. I'm gonna go to it, I promise. Sorry, guys. This is what live news looks like. Again, I think I've said that 100 times. By the end of it, I'm going to say it 100 times, but we're trying to get all of these feeds pushed out to you guys. WHDH there, providing a secondary aerial view. We had another one coming in from WCVB in Boston, but it appears that we may have lost that. I'm joking. We have not lost that, or I guess I should say I just lied to you. Not on purpose, though. 2 aerial views here coming in to us right now, that we are learning, that we are continuing to watch. I'm trying to update the feeds as we get an update, as like I'm seeing sources. Who are these feeds coming from? Here's what we're gonna do for you, because the press conference was just held a few moments ago. We are going to replay that press conference for you. We want to make sure you guys, of course, are getting the most updated information. So we want to play that press conference out for you back again. If you'll stand by with us, we're going to get to it. So this is moments ago in Providence, Rhode Island, that press conference from just earlier. Let's listen in.
Dates, but we're going to share what we do know at this time. But please bear with us as we know sometimes these details shift as the investigation progresses. Sadly, today is a day that the city of Providence and the state of Rhode Island prayed would never come. We've heard about horrific acts of gun violence and active shooter situations in other places, but not here. But this afternoon at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, we received a call. 4:05 was when the initial call came in to Brown University of a report of an active shooter. I can confirm that there are 2 individuals who have died this afternoon, and there are another 8 in critical status, those stable, at Rhode Island Hospital. Those are the only injuries or casualties that we know at this time. But as I mentioned, and it's important to remind folks, these numbers may change. We are still in early hours, but at this time there are 2 deceased and 8 who are critical but stable at Rhode Island Hospital. Additionally, we do not have a shooter in custody at this time. There is a shelter in place in effect for the greater Brown University area. If you live on or near Brown's campus, we are encouraging you to stay home and stay inside. If you're not home at this time, we would encourage you not to return to your homes until the shelter in place has been lifted. we will make regular updates through all City of Providence official social media channels. That's where you can find out more information about the shelter in place, if it changes, when it's lifted. I want to commend the heroic work of the Providence Police Department, the Brown Police Department, Providence Fire Department, and the many agencies who provided mutual aid today. Brown Police responded first and then were quickly assisted by Providence Police, who fearlessly and courageously entered and worked through the building, and we'll hear from them in a minute. Providence Fire responded quickly as well and transported several of the victims. The fire department was assisted with mutual aid from across the state of Rhode Island. And as I think we know our community to be, our neighbors have really stepped up in a big way today. And we're very grateful for everyone who has offered assistance and who will continue to offer assistance. The fire department was aided by departments in Warwick, Barrington, Bristol, Brown, EMS, Pawtucket, Cranston, Coventry, Smithfield, East Greenwich, North Kingstown, Woonsocket, Professional Ambulance Company, Situate, and Cumberland. Providence Police and Brown Police were aided by East Providence, Cranston, Cumberland, the State Police, the FBI, and the ATF. Brown, Providence, and the FBI are currently in close coordination as they seek to find the shooter or shooters. The shooting took place at the Barris and Holly building, which is a Brown University engineering and physics building. The building contains both classrooms and lab space. We'll hear from the provost in a minute with some additional updates from Brown. There will be a family reunification center that Brown will be setting up effective at 7 o'clock. Please stay tuned for updates on where that will be. We are encouraging anyone who was a witness to today's action to please contact the police as the investigation is ongoing and they may have critical information. At this time, I'd like to introduce the governor of the state of Rhode Island, who was quick to call and offer assistance and has been in touch with our law enforcement, had the state police respond quickly, and has been a great partner to the city of Providence on this sad day. Governor McKee.
Okay, Mayor. Yeah, so the unthinkable has happened, and I've been in touch, as the mayor said, to make sure that all the resources that we have, whether it's the EMA, our state police, Department of Health, which we've been in contact with as well, are responding in a way that is being helpful as possible. We've been in contact with the White House as well. Our office has been in contact with the White House. So we will bring all our resources to the table. I've been in touch with Governor Healy as well as other governors who have experienced the same tragedy. So our thoughts go out to those who have been impacted by this in any way, and we'll continue to provide the assistance to the authorities here in Providence as well as statewide, and continue to make sure that we are doing everything we can to help the families that are that are suffering right now.
Thank you, Governor. Now I'd like to introduce Chief Rodney Chapman from Brown PD.
My name is Rodney Chapman. I'm Vice President for Brown University, Vice President of Public Safety and Emergency Management, and I serve as Chief of Police as well. As mentioned, we will mention this several times, this is a very fluid situation and dynamically evolving. Needless to say, my primary concern is the safety and security of this community, and we are encouraging, if anyone has information about the tragic events that unfolded this afternoon, to please contact us and provide that information. At this moment, I do want to say and share that my profound thanks and appreciation for all of the first responders who have come to assist us and all that are gathered right now and speaking to continue this investigation, to include all of the City of Providence resources, state resources, and the federal government in terms of the FBI and ATF. Sir?
Now, Commander Tim O'Hara from Providence Police.
Good evening, Tim O'Hara, Deputy Chief of Providence Police. So earlier this afternoon, when we received the call for an active shooter inside a building inside Brown University, our officers responded, and as they're trained to do, entered that building immediately and began searching for a suspect. They did a systematic search of the building. However, no suspect was located at that time. They were able to clear that building and provide a safe place for all of students and faculty and workers that were in that building to meet at. Preliminarily, all we have is a suspect that was a male dressed in black. It is unknown how he entered the building, but we do know that he exited the Hope Street side of that complex. We're utilizing every resource possible to find this suspect. The shelter in place is in order, and I urge people to take that very seriously. Please do not come to the area. There's an active police investigation going on, and there's a lot of police activity. We've got assistance so far from some surrounding communities, the state police, the Cranston Police, East Providence Police, as well as our federal partners in the FBI and the ATF. We're talking to witnesses at this time and delving into any video that's in the area, and the investigation is very active and ongoing. We'll be updating you, I'm sure, throughout the night, but as I said, right now there is no suspect that is under arrest, so please stay out of the area. Thank you.
We'll take questions at the end. We'll take questions at the end. We have a few more speakers, please. Next, Fire Chief Derek Silva.
Derek Silva, Fire Chief of the City of Providence. As mentioned previously, at 4:05 p.m. we were dispatched to the area of Waterman and Thayer for an active shooter incident where our firefighters, known as a rescue task force, linked up with Providence Police with two operational locations at Waterman and Thayer and Waterman and Hope. Rescue Task Force is a firefighter that wears body armor and has ability to stop any shooting wounds and make sure that any victims are extricated quickly. With the assistance of police in neighboring cities and towns, 8 people were transported, as the mayor mentioned, critical but stable condition, and 2, unfortunately, were dead on arrival. We have a total of 10 victims, but as I caution everyone, this is a developing incident, and we are still actively searching the buildings along with Providence Police to make sure that everyone has gone home safe and that there are no one else that needs our assistance. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. And then last, we'll hear from the Provost of Brown University, Frank Doyle.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm Frank Doyle, Provost at Brown University. I want to reiterate, this is an evolving situation, as you've heard multiple times. Our first priority is the safety of our academic community, the campus community, and coordinating closely with law enforcement and medical services. In the meantime, we continue to direct our community to shelter in place in the greater vicinity of the campus. We are working immediately to determine who was in the building at the time of the shooting and any impacts in the shooting. We do know that there were final exams taking place in the building between 2 and 5 p.m. We can confirm that support services are on site. We have been and continue to be very grateful to law enforcement and emergency medical personnel. We have relocated students to get support services at a secure location, and will be providing more details. We continue to remain extremely grateful to local law enforcement for their ongoing support. We're committed to keeping our community informed, supporting our students and families, as well as the affected faculty and staff. Thank you.
So before we take questions, I just want to implore the greater Providence.
A press conference held just moments ago there on that Brown University shooting. We are going to continue to monitor any new press conferences that do come about. Again, that press conference there from just moments ago. What we are going to do here at Brookland News is wrap up our coverage. If there is a further update, a further press conference, you guys can expect that we will bring you coverage of that. You guys can expect the coverage of that. I am